What's up, guys? Today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to make an HR policy chatbot in n8n. Right now, let's get into it. So, there is 4 things that you need: an n8n account, which we're going to get into creating in the video, an OpenAI account, which we're also going to create in the video, a Superbase account, right, and a Google Cloud Console account. All right, let's get into it. So to get started, we are going to create an n8n account, right? So to do that, you go to n8n.io, right? And you'll be met with this screen. And so to create an account, you go to the top right corner where it says get started, right? So it's going to load up and yeah, it's going to show this page, start automating today, blah, blah, blah. So you type in your full name, your company email, or your email. In this case, you put it in again to confirm it, then the password for this account, and then the account name is going to be what your n8n is going to be called, right? So for example, mine is called Wiser8, right? I already created an account, so I'm just showing you this for the purposes of those who do not have an account, right? Okay, and so since I already have an account, we're going to get into what it's like inside n8n once you have created your account. Once you've created your account, you'll be met with this page. Mine's filled with workflows, but yours will be empty if you just created in your account. And also, you'll have a 14-day trial. After the 14-day trial runs out, you can pay for an actual n8n account, right? But for the purpose of this video, the 14-day trial will do just fine. Okay, so once you're in this place, the overview section, right, you are going to say create new workflow. So click create new workflow, and yeah, this is how your screen should look like. Create new workflow, and that's what it's like inside n8n. Now that we're inside n8n, we're going to go through the steps on how to create the HR policy chatbot, right? So the first thing you're going to do is click here where it says add first step, right? And then this should pop up, right? And here it will show a bunch of triggers, right? Use triggers to begin a workflow, right? So in our case, since we're going to create a chatbot, we're going to use on chat message, right? It says, run the workflow when the user sends a chat message for use with AI notes, right? So you click on that, right? And then this is what should show up, right? So now we have that when chat message received. Yeah. So when you press open chat, it will show here. This is where you type in everything that you need to do, everything you need to type in to interact with the chatbot, right? After that, we're going to add AI. When you go to AI nodes, you'll find AI agent, right? And here, AI agent, it generates an action plan and executes it. It uses external tools, right? And so this is what will show up. And so here shows prompt user message, and here is what is the data is going to receive from that first node we put the when chat message received, right? Yeah. And so as you can see, this agent is highlighted red. Well, the reason for that is because we need to add other things to it, right? So the way the agent works is it needs a chat model for its brain, which is essential. That's why you see that tiny red X or star over there, right? Let me just zoom in so that you can see that tiny star over there. It's essential because it's the brain of the agent, right? And so then it also has memory, right? And if you use ChatGPT, the LLM uses memory to remember what conversations you've had with it. And then the tool is the different tools that this agent can access. Like, for example, in our case, it's going to access a database where our HR policy is going to be. And the agent will respond to your queries. So at the chat model, just click plus, and there's so many LLMs you can use. There's the Anthropic chat model, Azure, OpenAI chat model. You see, there's so many. But in our case, we're going to use an OpenAI chat model, right? So click on that, and this is going to show up on your screen, but it won't have this, won't have GPT 4.1 mini, or it won't say OpenAI account. And the reason for that is because you have to add in credentials, and we're going to get into that right now. To be able to create credentials, you need an OpenAI account. And so let's get into creating an OpenAI account. All right, so to create an OpenAI account, you're just going to go to openai.com, right? And it's pretty straightforward. You're going to click login, the AI platform, right? So it's going to say platform.openai.login. And so if you have an account, what I personally suggest is you continue with Google, right? If you don't have an account, you can sign up and you just still continue with Google to go through the steps of, will access your email address and your name. So anyways, I already have an account, so let's just go. I'm going to choose mine. Right, see, Google allow OpenAI to access info about you. Right, continue. Right, so this is where you are. It's gonna tell you about. It's gonna ask you to tell about yourself. So you type in your name. Right, so I'm gonna type in mine, then your birthday, a month, day, year, format. So yeah, you go through that. All right, so once you've filled in your name and date of birth, you'll be met with this screen, right? And so it's gonna ask you for organization name and what best describes you. So most cases you're just going to say not technical, right? You're going to type in your organization name, right? And then you're going to continue through the steps. Let me fill them out and we'll keep going step by step by step. Now on this page, you can invite your team. Members can make standard API requests and read basic organization data, right? So yeah, so you can add owner emails in there. You can add reader emails in there. All right. So once you've done that, you press continue and go to the next step. Or if you don't want to invite your team, you can just say invite my team later. So after that, you'll be met with this make your first API call page. Right. So API key name, you can name it whatever you want. I'm just going to say n8n API key. Right. And then project name, we're going to say HR Chatbot. Sorry, say HR Policy Chatbot, right? Then after that, you'll say generate API key. After that, you'll be met with a page that says make your first API call, and it will have your API key. Copy that because you're going to need it for the node in n8n. I don't show that because it has my API key, and you have to keep it safe, private. And after that, you're going to need to add credits. So you're going to purchase credits for that API key, right? And so since I've already done all that, I'm just going to say I'll buy credits later. So after purchasing credits, you're going to be met with this page. For now, that's all you need. And yeah, we're going to head back to n8n and go through the steps of adding your API key to create OpenAI credentials inside n8n. So now that we've created an OpenAI platform account, we're going to go into our OpenAI chat model node. I'm going to double click it. Now for you, it's going to show create new credential. Since you don't already have an existing credential, I already have one. That's why it says OpenAI account. Right. So from here, you're going to press, create credential. And then you're going to paste in your API key here. So you paste it in your API key. You don't have to fill in anything else. The rest is all optional. This stays the way it should be. And yeah, just click save, and yeah, credential successfully created. It'll show up there, and yeah, that's that. All right, so once that's done, you can close, or you rename it to whatever you want, but I don't really need to, so just do that and go back. So avoid that. All right, so yeah, now that we've done that, we can just go back. So the next thing we're going to do is give our agent memory. There is a simple way to do this, and there is another way to do it using Postgre Superbase. So for this example, this video, we're going to use the simple way, right? So you just click on memory. When you click use simple memory, it says stores in n8n memory, so no credentials required. Just click that, and this is what will show up. You see connected to chat trigger node, the one that we created at the beginning. And this is the ID from the trigger node, and this is the context window length. It's going to see, how many past interactions the model receives as context. So in our case, let's do something like 10, right? 10 is okay. Then you can go back, and then yeah, now we've created our brain for the LM. So next we're going to add a vector store to our AI agent. The vector store is what the agent uses to access information it needs to respond to a query. So in our case, we're going to use a Superbase vector store, right? So you just click that, and this is what's going to show up. Now let's first head back. Under the vector store, we're going to use embedding. We're going to click embeddings, right? And then we're going to say embeddings OpenAI. For this, you don't have to do anything when it comes to credentials because we already created OpenAI credentials. Here, just leave it the way it is. Text embedding 3 small, right? And yeah, this is what it should look like now, right? So now we're going to work on Superbase. So let's get into creating a Superbase account and adding the credentials and setting up everything we need for this. So let's head over to superbase.com. When you're in superbase.com, you're going to click sign in, the top bar. Right, so you're going to click sign in here. This is where you create your account. If you don't have an account, you're going to say, sign up now. So you're going to type in your email, your password. So after entering an email and a password, you're going to click sign up. After clicking sign up, you're going to get a confirmation email. So you're going to check your email. Yeah, so here's my confirmation email. Right, so you're going to confirm your email address. After confirming your email, you'll be met with this screen. Right, so we're going to do the name of the organization. We're going to do personal, right? And we're going to go with a free plan. So you create the organization. And so now you're going to create a new project. I'm going to call it my project. And then you're going to create a password. Create your own password. So after entering your password, you can keep it somewhere, save it somewhere. And yeah, then you're going to click create new project. Yeah, so after doing that, it's going to create a project. Once it's done, you'll see project status here in green. This is how it looks like once it's done creating your project. So now that we're done creating the Superbase account, we're going to go ahead and do the credentials for our vector store. So in n8n, right, you're going to click the Superbase vector store, and in here you're going to say create credential. I already have one, but we're doing this for your sake. You say create credential, and it's going to show host and service role secret. I'm going to head into Superbase to get those details. So back in Superbase, you're going to hit project settings. After that, you're going to go to data API. Here, you're going to have your project URL. That's what you're going to use for the host URL. So you're just gonna copy that, HTTPS, blah blah blah, and then you're going to paste it here where it says host, right? And then we're gonna go ahead and get our service role secret in Superbase. The way you're gonna get your service role secret is by going to API keys down here. So you're gonna click API keys, yeah, and then now you're gonna get your service role secret. So you're gonna have to reveal it and copy it, and then you're gonna paste it inside with service role secret back in n8n. So back in n8n, you're just gonna paste your service role secret after revealing it. Just copy and paste it here, and then once you're done, you're gonna hit save. Credential successfully created. So you just go back. So now we're going to create the vector store in Superbase. So to do that, what you're going to do is you're going to go and Google n8n docs. After that, you're going to go to the first result, n8n docs, and then after that you can just search for Superbase vector store node documentation. You're going to click that. So after clicking that, you're going to click Superbase provides a quick start for setting up your vector store. You're going to go to that. And so now what you're going to do is you're going to copy this command here. After copying that command, you're going to go to your Superbase, and where it says SQL editor, you're going to go there, going to click it, and then you're going to paste the command there. So after pasting the code, the command here, don't change anything, just press run. And yeah, you're going to see success, no rows returned. And yeah, after seeing the success, no rows returned, you're going to go to table editor, and you're going to find a table that says documents. And when our data is vectorized, it's going to go into here. Yeah, so after you created this, what is it just doing is, as you can see, it says unrestricted data is publicly available via API as our list is disabled. So what it's just doing is enabling row level security, which is RLS. Enable RLS for this table and enable. So now with that enabled, you're going to find that the only thing that can access this is your instance in n8n. Yeah, so like that, you've created your vector store. You don't necessarily have to turn on RLS for this if you're just testing it out, but that's good to know that if you don't want your data publicly available, you turn on RLS. Now we're going to add data to our vector store, the one we just created in Superbase. And so to do that, we're going to use Google Drive. And to be able to access Google Drive through n8n, you need to create Google Drive credentials. And to be able to do that, you need a Google Cloud Console account. And so now we're going to get into how to set all that up, including creating the Google Cloud Console account. So starting with creating the Google Cloud Console account, you're just going to go ahead and search Google Cloud Console. Press enter, and you're going to go to console.cloud.google.com. And yeah, after doing that, you'll probably be met with this screen that's going to tell you that you're going to create your first project. Yeah, so after doing that, what you're going to do now is now we're going to go ahead and create the credentials that we need to plug in our Google Drive to n8n. So now we're going to go ahead and create the Google Cloud Console credentials. And yeah, what we're going to do that is in our workflow, we're going to right click and say add node. Then we're going to search for Google Drive. Once we click Google Drive, we're going to say download file, because we're going to be adding this file, which is our HR policy, into our vector store. So we're just going to say download file. And now once we're in here, you're going to say create new credential. I already have one, but we're going to go through the steps of creating credential. Now you have the option of asking the assistant in n8n for help, right? It will give you the steps here, right? But now, for now, we're just going to go through what we need. And also, if you need extra help, you can see after we clicked off here, it says this field is required in open docs. It's going to take you to the n8n docs if you need any extra help on the steps on adding these details, right? So let's get into it. So first, we're going to go back to our Google Cloud Console, and then we're going to click the bar here in the top left, right? Then we're going to go to API services. Then we're going to click library. And so after we've clicked library, we're going to search for Google Drive, right? Google Drive API. And we're going to click that. And after doing that, we're going to say enable. It's going to take some time, but once it's done, it should load back and you'll find enabled API and services. We have Google Drive API. So next we're going to go to API and services back in the corner, and we're going to say auth consent screen. Right, so now that we're here, we're going to get started, right? So you're going to click get started. And so now we're going to have to go through all this information and fill it in, right? Starting with app information. So for app information, we're going to go with app name. Let's say n8n policy. And let's say n8n HR policy app, right? n8n HR policy app. Then you're gonna say user support email. For users to contact you, questions about their consent. You can put your email in, your company email in. After putting the email, you're going to say next, and you're gonna choose your audience. So for now, since we're just testing it out, you're going to say internal. To do external, you have to verify your app and everything with Google, and that's a whole process. So for now, we're just going to say internal. So we're going to say internal. All right, so to be able to select internal, you have to be a Google Workspace user. You have to pay for Google Workspace. So we're just going to say external, and we're just going to test the thing out without actually having to set up the whole verification thing with Google. So after you press external, you're going to say next. You're going to say contact information. And so you just add email addresses here. So just going to add mine. After that, you should show a gray bubble for however many email addresses you add. I just added mine. So yeah. After that, we're going to go down and say next. And then say finish. I agree with Google API service user policy. You can read that in your own time and say continue. And now that we're done, we can say create. Yeah, once it's done, you'll be met with this screen, right? Then we can continue the rest of the steps. So from here, we're going to say, go down to clients. From overview, go to clients. Then you're going to say create client. And once you're in create client, create auth client ID, we're going to select web application. Now we can call this one n8n web app. Name it whatever you want. I'm just naming it that. Right, so after entering the name, you're going to go down to authorize redirect URIs. You're going to click add URI, and you're going to paste this link. You can get this link from in here, where it's showing you the steps to add the credentials in n8n. So its link should be here. See API to n8n cloud. And so yeah, you just paste it in there. Yeah, so after you've pasted that, you're going to say create, and it says no, it may take a few minutes to a few hours for the settings to take effect. So we're just gonna say create and wait. Right, so after that, you'll be met with this tiny screen that says client ID and client secret. This is what you're going to use in n8n. You can download a JSON file with them for late use later. And yeah, now we have the n8n web app. And so the client ID and the client secret is what we're going to use to enter the credentials back in n8n. So, you're just going to go edit with client. You're just going to copy your client ID and paste it back in n8n. Then you're going to copy your client secret. So now here we're back in n8n with the steps we've been following here on the side, right? Now it's saying that we enter the client ID and client secret from Google Cloud, and we've done that. So now it says set the appropriate scopes for Google Drive use, and it has this link here. So you can just copy that link, and then after that, we'll say save and connect the credentials. So what this is going to do is it's going to ask for the appropriate scopes whenever you sign with Google, right? So what you're going to do now is you're going to go to your Google Cloud Console and you're going to select audience, right? So in audience, you're going to add a test user. Well, in that case, is the account that you're going to sign in using, or you're going to sign in with. So I'm just going to use my own. After you click save, it will be in here. It will add your emails into the audience. And so after that, you're going to go down over to data access. Then you're going to add scopes. Then you're going to paste the link that it showed before. Going to say add to table, and then you say update. And after that, it's going to show up there. See, edit, create, and delete all your Google Drive files. And you're going to say save. Yeah, so after you're done saving, it will say data access changes saved. Now you're going to go back into n8n, and then you're going to say sign in with Google. It says save. It's going to save your credentials. It's going to say sign in with Google. Hold on, because this app sent an invalid request. Okay, we need to fix that real quick. Okay, so I think the issue is that we use a different O3 direct URL. We copied this is when we should be copying that. So yeah, let's use that. We're going to click to copy. We're going to go into our Google Cloud Console, and then we're going to go into clients. Right, we're going to edit our client. Then we're going to add the URI. Gotta paste it, and just gonna save. And then it's gonna say all clients saved. Then after that, we're gonna go back into n8n, and we're going to say sign in with Google. It's gonna show up when I click mine. Yeah, and so say Google hasn't verified this app, be given access. You should only continue if you know the developer. And since you're your own user yourself, just continue. And so yeah, he's going to say n8n cloud can access, you see. So just select all and just gonna continue. And then say connection successful. And then you can just close that out, and we can go back to creating the HR Policy Chatbot. So since we have added our credentials and connected our Google account to our Google Cloud Console project, we now have access to that Google account's Google Drive. And so that's how we're going to add our HR policy to the vector store, right? So before you even continue with here, you're going to upload your HR policy to your Google Drive so that you can find it in this drop down list. And so if you've uploaded your HR policy document, you're going to say organizational HR policy. It's the name of my document. You're going to select that. That's what we're going to add to our vector store. Right. So now that we've done that, you know, we say organizational HR policy doc. We're going to go ahead and use that to add it into our Superbase vector store, right? So what you can do here, yeah. So since we've added our document, we're gonna say execute step. It's gonna take a while since it's a large document. Boom. Now we have our document here in n8n from our Google Drive. Now we're going to continue to the next step. What we're going to do is we're going to say, we're going to click the plus after the download file from the Google Drive node. We're going to again say Superbase Vector Store. Then we're going to say add documents to Vector Store. Right, so we're going to use the credentials we created. In our case, is the account 2 for me. Whatever you named it, it's going to be that. And so from the list, we're going to choose documents, right, which is the one we created earlier. And yeah. All right, so we've chosen documents and just leave everything the way it is. We're going to go back. We're going to choose our embeddings. We're going to choose OpenAI because we've used OpenAI. Just leave it the way it is. Right. And same thing here. We're going to use the document data loader. We're going to choose binary because we have binary data. And just, yeah, like that. And so after we've added our default data loader, we're just gonna run that. It's going to run. It's going to take a while because it's a HR policy large document. See, now that it's done, node executed successfully, 257 items, and all of that has gone into our Superbase vector store. Yeah, so back in Superbase, if you check your documents vector store, you see it's like a bunch of items depending on how large your HR policy is. Yeah, it'll be a lot of items. And so with that done, we check in our Superbase to see if the items got there, and they did. We're nearly done. What's left is coming back to our Superbase vector store node that was connected to the AI agent. So we're just gonna double click that. We have a Superbase account too. And so we're gonna give a description for the AI agent to use. Right, so we're just going to say use this to access the HR policy. Right, and so now from the table name, we're going to choose documents since it's what we made. And yeah, with that done, we can go back. And since we already put our embeddings, we don't have to do that. We are done with this. So now we can test it out to see how well it works. But before seeing how well it works, you're going to have to save, right? You can name this HR Policy Chatbot. I'm going to name mine too because I already had one before. Oh, and also the green glowing lines isn't how it usually looks. It's usually just white. I have an extension uh, connected to mine, so it just looks like that. It's like a cool aesthetic thing, right? Yeah. But anyways, so with our workflow done, what we're going to do is test it out. But before doing that, we're going to go into our AI agent and we're going to come into under options, we're going to say system message, right? So this, we're adding this so that our agent performs better than it normally would without a system message. With a system message, it's going to be able to carry out the task that it's created to do, right? So in our case, we're just gonna paste this. You are a helpful assistant. Answer employee question based on HR policy. And use strictly the HR policy. Bear in mind the chat memory. That's all. So it's not going to answer anything outside of its own thoughts. It's just going to um, answer directly from the HR policy. And so with that done, we can just go back and everything is set. We can just say save. And now we can test out the agent. All right, so now we're going to test it out. Let's ask, what is common, sorry, what is common practice? What's happening in practice when applying for leave? And so we just press enter. So as you can see, this is the log. It went to the agent using its memory. It's accessing our HR policy and it's using the brain again to generate a response. And so, common practice when applying for leave according to HR policies as follows. No staff shall obtain written approval for any form of absence. For absence through relevant forms, email or memorandum, and it goes on and on and on. For sick leave, a medical certificate issued by a registered medical practitioner must be submitted. All leave and absence shall be recorded for monitoring attendance, planning, coordination, and safety and security reasons. And, in summary, obtaining prior and written approval, timely communication, and proper documentation are key practices when applying for leave, right? That's like a simple example. And you can ask a bunch of other questions in regards to your HR policy, and you'll see that it answers them very accurately. So yeah, that is creating an HR policy chatbot in n8n. So as you can see from our example earlier, that it works. You can access your HR policy and it'll answer all your queries according to the HR policy and nothing else. Yeah, that is how we build our HR policy chatbot in n8n. And you can do so much more. Actually, you can create different chatbots for different purposes or different other automations for other purposes. The AI agent is very flexible. That's it for today. Thanks for watching and have a good one.